Reflections on the Teachings of Shams of Tabriz. He says, "May revelation dawn within you. Even if the whole world would hang me by my beard, still if something needs to be said, I will say it. But without a doubt, even after 1,000 years, these words will be heard by those whom I want to hear. The universe is one being. Everything and everyone is interconnected through an invisible web of stories. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are all in a silent conversation. Do no harm, practice compassion, and do not gossip behind anyone's back, not even a seemingly innocent remark. The words that come out of our mouths do not vanish, but are perpetually stored in infinite space, and they will come back to us in due time. One man's pain will hurt us all. One man's joy will make everyone smile. Whatever you speak, good or evil, will somehow come back to you. Therefore, if there is someone who harbors ill thoughts about you, saying similarly bad things about him will only make matters worse. You will be locked in a vicious circle of malevolent energy. Instead, for 40 days and nights, say and think nice things about that person. Everything will be different at the end of 40 days, because you will be different inside. A few people became the prophet's scribes for the revelation, those who wrote down the divine commands, and a few people became the place where the revelation descends, that is, the place of its effect. Work hard so that you may be both. In other words, be both the object of the revelation and the scribe of the revelation that comes to the heart. God is busy with the completion of your work, both outwardly and inwardly. He is fully occupied with you. Every human being is a work in progress that is slowly but inexorably moving toward perfection. We are each an unfinished work of art, both waiting and striving to be completed. God deals with each of us separately because humanity is fine art of skilled penmanship, where every single dot is equally important for the entire picture. The whole universe is contained within a single human being, you. Everything that you see around, including the things that you might not be fond of, and even the people you despise or abhor, is present within you in varying degrees. Therefore, do not look for shaitan outside yourself either. The devil is not an extraordinary force that attacks from without. It is an ordinary voice within. If you set to know yourself fully, facing with honesty and hardness. When bitter words become sweet. To some people, my words seem bitter, but if they endure that bitterness, a sweetness comes to them. One who smiles during the time of bitterness smiles because his eyes are seeing the sweetness that will come in the end. And so, according to this point of view, patience means to witness the end result of an action, and impatience means to be so short-sighted as to not be able to see the outcome. Patience does not mean to passively endure. It means to look at the end of a process. What does patience mean? It means to look at the thorn and see the rose, to look at the night and see the dawn. Impatience means to be short-sighted, as to not be able to see the outcome. The lovers of God never run out of patience, for they know that time is needed for the crescent moon to become full. He says, choosing a far-sighted companion. There is no doubt that you take on the nature of the one with whom you are closely in contact, the one with whom you sit. If you spend time looking at straw, dryness constricts you. If you look at greenery and roses, freshness opens within you. Your companion pulls you to his own universe. This is why reading the Quran purifies the heart. You remember the Prophet's words and their states. Their forms unite with your spirit. They become your comrades and sit with you. By means of that great, immortal and infinite jewel, I gained such a warm, high knowledge that I merged with it and became filled with its fire. A life without love is of no account. Don't ask yourself what kind of love you should seek, spiritual or material, divine or mundane, Eastern or Western. Divisions only lead to more divisions. Love has no labels, no definitions. It is what it is, pure and simple. Love is the water of life, and a lover is a soul of fire. The universe turns differently when fire loves water. As Shams tells us, the spirits of the great attained ones are ready. They recognize the living ones and help them. He says, the gem of love. Everyone speaks about his own peer. In a dream, the blessed prophet gave a cloak, kirka, to me. But this is not one of those cloaks that would become old after only 2 days and fall to pieces, to be thrown into the furnace or to be used for dishcloths. Rather, it is a cloak of companionship and conversation. Not a companionship with any limits, but a companionship that has no yesterday, today, or tomorrow. What does love have to do with yesterday, and with today, and with tomorrow? He says, turning grace. Day and night, I am occupied with praying for you, because there are accidents on the way. One kind of accident is an accident that may occur in the future. The other is the accident that is already occurring. An accident that is already happening can't be avoided through prayers, but through prayer you can turn around one that may still be distant. Some say, our God is kind, our God is good, but not for others. With such a strong partiality, they find a God and make the mistake of thinking that what they imagine to be God is God. God grants abundant grace to his servants, but it says servants. Where are those servants? In the process of learning how to be true servants, Shams encourages us to keep good companionship, to open to the presence of the prophets, to zikr the prophets. Love remembers. The human being remembers often the one whom he/she loves, especially if that beloved is God, but who is able to remember him as he deserves to be remembered. We are remembering you all the time. We are filled with your love. Nothing should stand between you and God. No imams, priests, rabbis, or any other custodians of moral or religious leadership. Not spiritual masters, and not even your faith. Believe in your values and your rules, but never lord them over others. If you keep breaking other people's hearts, whatever religious duty you perform is no good. Stay away from all sorts of idolatry, for they will blur your vision. Let God, and only God, be your guide. Learn the truth, my friend, but be careful not to make a fetish out of your truths. Look deeper. From time to time ask us, how are you? I am your servant. If they serve the servants of God with their possessions, then an affection wakes up. Their work opens by means of that affection. A single coin given by a true friend is more valuable than 100,000 given by someone else. Whoever accepts this help of a friend becomes bound to him. That which is given by the friend opens a closed door. Never be satisfied with the beautiful outer appearance and words and deeds of a shaykh, because something is hidden behind them. Ask for that. There are more fake gurus and false teachers in this world than the number of stars in the visible universe. Don't confuse power-driven, self-centered people with true mentors. A genuine spiritual master will not direct your attention to himself or herself and will not expect absolute obedience or utter admiration from you, but instead will help you to appreciate and admire your inner self. True mentors are as transparent as glass. They let the light of God pass through them. Shams tells us, honey preserves. I wish people knew that happiness is in the gathering of friends, that they might mingle with each other and show their beautiful faces, so that love might appear among them. When one by one desires come between them, their brightness vanishes. If you keep something within honey, it remains fresh and sweet. The air cannot find a way into it to spoil it. We were all created in His image, and yet we were each created different and unique. No two people are alike. No hearts beat to the same rhythm. If God had wanted everyone to be the same, He would have made it so. Therefore, disrespecting differences and imposing your thoughts on others is an amount to disrespecting God's holy scheme. It's easy to love a perfect God, unblemished and infallible that He is. What is far more difficult is to love fellow human being with all their imperfections and defects. Remember, one can only know what one is capable of loving. There is no wisdom without love. Unless we learn to love God's creation, we can neither truly love nor truly know God. With a humorous story, He encourages us to patiently persevere. Patience and practice. There was a rope dancer who would walk on the rope with eyes blindfolded, with wooden clogs on his feet, a water jug on his head, and holding 4 things in his hands. He would walk forward on the rope, making creaking sounds with his feet, and return again. Then suddenly he would throw himself down, hold the rope with his feet and under his armpits, then hang himself by a single finger, and then jump back onto the rope again. Meanwhile, his heavy friend kept falling. All the time he was on the rope, his friend would keep shouting at him, "I've brought you here in the name of such and such a teacher," and he would begin to weep. Then quickly, people would gather up the sticks and blankets and offer loads of advice. They practiced tightrope walking at the seaside, so that if they fall off the rope, they fall into the water. In this way, after long practice, they become master tightrope walkers. And after that, they practice on land. Gradually, they raise their rope and learn about the best ways to stand and walk on it. Just as patience is needed for the crescent moon to become full, for the rain on the rocks to turn them into rubies, and for the drops that rain onto the sea to become pearls, these too would slowly become expert tightrope walkers through patience and practice. With time, from unripe grapes you can make halva. Stop, O my camel, with joy. All words in the whole world belong to seekers, to those who search. And what is the sign of the one they are seeking? I am listening, you are listening. When weighing the truth sought with God, one has to know the right moment to be able to reach that universe. In the end, where are you going, my gracious friend? What more can one say after this discussion? May God be with you, I say. But this is not a wish for separation. It is a prayer that the favor and help of God and the friendship of the Master and the truth, who knows the secrets, might protect you. Stop, O my camel. Joy has come to its last degree. The work is finished. The way has come to an end. The earth has turned into a beautiful paradise. The time of celebration has come again, and things have been set right. Shams tells us that Mevlana Rumi would say to him, "Bright silence. If you are silent, your speech becomes brighter, because both the light of silence and the value of speech are hidden within silence." So for a few moments, I would like to invite us into silence with Shams, into the heart.